Greetings, everyone. Greetings, family. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Live with Chatufa. We are here to give you information about what is happening around us. Very, very important information in our political circles. Very exciting news that we are hearing around the political circles and blunders, mistakes, errors, good news, bad news, fights, understandings that we are seeing happening. But this is what happens, and this is what we should expect. Zuma's ANC disciplinary hearing is beginning in July. This coming July, the ANC disciplinary hearing is beginning once again. And the report that we have is already talking about this coming from the MK party itself. A report that we are seeing from SABC News says the ANC's disciplinary hearing against its former president Jacob Zuma will be forging ahead virtually on Wednesday, the 17th of July 2024. So if it's going to be virtual, and if in the event that they allow it to be also streamed live, then we are definitely going to be there to give you that information, to make sure that we also go live and you can hear it for yourself. So this is what is happening. We don't know why exactly in the political dynamics this hearing has to continue, because it seems like Jacob Zuma has moved on. I think the NC is still just being vindictive, and they still want to, fight and fight and fight. But I should think that this was time to focus on the GNU and focus on business and, looking at how they can best be, serving the South African people, because South African people right now are expecting to see a government that is now working. The GNU must start to deliver on its promises. They must deliver on the expectations of the masses. The masses are interested, I think, more in the service delivery, electricity, water, sanitation, the economy, and health, and things like that, instead of these squabbles that politicians want to continue to be holding. I think if the ANC would know what is good for them, they must just leave Jacob Zuma alone. This man must just be left alone. Let them allow the man to go ahead and do what he has to do. He is also concentrating on administering the MK party. The MK party has quite a lot of work to do, I'm sure, because they also have quite a number of MPs. 58 MPs that came from the MK is not a joke. It means that their offices indeed are going to be very, very busy with a lot of paperwork, a lot of work that needs to be done in there, and that would, not jeopardize their effectiveness in the promises that they've given to the South African people. So at times politicians do that. They end up, leaving the most important business and running after things that are not really that much important. So we are going to be seeing how this is going to be also received by the masses, the South African people, especially the people that are in the KZN, where the MK is very, very strong, which is the original the province of Jacob Zuma himself. We will see how they are going to be taking it, considering that there is a lot of grief and a lot of discontent amongst the MK members because of how the elections were handled. Remember, they are still pushing the idea of, the IEC having overlooked quite a lot of things, complaints, and other malpractices that we saw happening right in the election. So that on its own remains a very, very big issue, which definitely needs to be attended to. I'm sure the IEC on that note, they were on the wrong, and they were supposed to really attend, because they are the people that have been given the mandate to sort out any kind of misunderstandings or squabbles that could be arising from the election. They were not supposed to ignore anybody, because the question would be, whose voice are you listening to? Because during the time of elections, there won't be any president. There won't be anyone, there won't be a minister, there won't be anybody who would say, I am this or I am that, you see. So for them to be now ignoring other political actors who would possibly become the next president or the next minister or governor, whatever it is, that is not, that was an error on the part of the IEC. They definitely needed to look into the issues that other political parties were bringing up in terms of complaints So that will be very, very important because it helps the process of democracy. Everyone must be, satisfied after the electoral process. Everyone must sign and agree that, no, this process went on well. Of course, we are not saying that elections can be perfect. Elections can never be perfect. There will always be here and there one or two things that did not go right, but at least it has to be at a minimal stage. But when we talk about 9 million votes that have not been accounted for, like what the MK is claiming, then it becomes a problem that really needs to be addressed. So, and also when we looked at the IEC with what they did on their online page, where they ended up now, like, shifting about figures again, altering figures, that on its own was a bad sign. It was a bad sign. Of course, they came out trying to say it doesn't change much, it doesn't change anything, and then, but a credible electoral board must never be found, getting into such kind of shenanigans, because many people won't understand what it means, what it is. You see, that's what exactly would be happening. It causes a lot of discontent among the citizens and also the voters. So they are proceeding with the hearing of Jacob Zuma. We don't know. We thought they said that Jacob Zuma was no longer a member of it. I remember Mbalula coming out on one of the videos where he was saying Jacob Zuma is not a member of the ANC. I don't know why they are today again going back to say they want to sit down and proceed with the hearing, the disciplinary hearing. But like I said, the ANC should be concentrating on something else. Right now, they are infiltrated so highly by the DA and, of course, other smaller parties. They need to be delivering this time around, to be focusing on delivery. Otherwise, if they fail, they might not be making it again in the next election, because they might be buried totally in the upcoming elections if they don't prove to the South African people that they are worth their salt. So that is very, very important. So as for Msholozi, I think they must just leave Msholozi alone and allow Msholozi to continue to do what he has to do. The man is a South African hero. He's a hero. He's a hero. Whether people like it or not, Jacob Zuma remains a hero in South Africa, in the South African political atmosphere, because there is quite a lot that he has done in terms of even caring for the South African masses during the time of his presidency. Of course, there were quite a lot of other accusations and issues and what. Every president will always have their own other side, which may be negative, but the general livelihood of the South African people was much, much better during the time of this man. And of course, during this other time, he provided an alternative, because many people were disgruntled about the ANC and its conduct. That's why. So he provided another platform, where people could find themselves, expressing their wishes to have a different government altogether. So as for us, we say Viva Msholozi, Viva Msholozi, Viva Msholozi. They should let the man run his business. They should just let him go and do what he has to do. He has quite a lot of work that he has to do for the South African people. So Viva Msholozi and Viva MK.